All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makarash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. And on to the Israelite foreigners. Shalom. To you, to yours. Slack, it's kind of late, but I want to do this show through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. It's not based on this, but this is part of it. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, that was the spirit. I just had it. That's why I'm doing this late. I seen this in the theaters when it came out. Great movie. All right, Captain America, Winter Soldier. And this scene right here, I just want to go to the point. Because I don't want them... they might give it a copyright strike. Fair use. I'm just going to use a clip. But this scene right here has everything to do with what I'm about to... I want to do the show for a minute. A few days, actually. And pretty much, we know through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua who's the true agent of chaos on the planet Earth. Now, many people may feel, it's beyond what we normally basically said. And the only reason why they feel that way because either they're part of that group or they just don't want to accept the fact that they are what the Bible states as the wicked. All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be just blunt, So-called white man's a goddamn devil, the Bible says. All right? And it's evident. Now, this scene, this whole movie is bad. I mean, bad meaning good. But this scene, it capitalized what my brother had put in the chat. It makes you realize, if you haven't realized it while we say the things that we say, you must be blind, stupid, or just blind and stupid. So let us play this little clip.
Cut off one head, two more shall take its place.
Prove it.
Accessing archive. Hydra was founded on the belief that humanity could not be trusted with its own freedom. What we did not realize was that if you try to take that freedom, they resist. The war taught us much. Humanity needed to surrender its freedom willingly. After the war, SHIELD was founded, and I was recruited. The new Hydra grew, a beautiful parasite inside SHIELD. For 70 years, Hydra has been secretly feeding crisis, reaping war. And when history did not cooperate, history was changed.
That's impossible.
So, there's a little bit more. And you heard this is a movie. Now, in case you live under a rock, who controls what goes into movies? That's the other factor. Right? So, this is what they call method of the madness. Method of revelations. This is them stating and showing everything. Let it be known. These little clips is just the devil just telling themselves. But I'm going to play a little bit more and I'm going to get to the point.
Stopped you.
Accidents will happen. Hydra created a world so chaotic that humanity is finally ready to sacrifice its freedom to gain its security. Once the purification process is complete, Hydra's new world order will arise.
Enough said. So, if you don't know what the new world order is, by now, you are lost. It's complete control and autonomy of everybody, every race. There's nothing new about it. It's a reoccurring thing Scriptures tell you there's nothing new under the sun. That was not a lie. It was done in the past, in the beginning of man. Nimrod and the other nations wanted to become one, building the tower. To Antiochus, let's just go. You had Nebuchadnezzar. He also had his way of New World Order. Then you had Antiochus Epiphanes, which is an Apocrypha. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Get that one out the way. First Maccabees 1 and about 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And many also of the Israelites consulted to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. So Antiochus had this wise idea, which was nothing new. It was a recap, you could say a recap. Same concept, same order, same structure. All right, which is a version of a new world order. Then you have after Antiochus Epiphanes, the Roman Empire themselves wanted to bring in this new world order, or something accordingly, which was the image of the beast. Now, bring all this up. It's not because of the new world order, which is you got Psalm 64. Matter of fact, let me get these scriptures out the way. Psalm 64 and 1. It states, all right, the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So the lies, deceptions, and so forth. They map things out the way they want things to be, which is a heavy point because of what this brother had put in the chat. And it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, which are the Israelites. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. The commune of laying snares privately, they say, who shall see them? So this is evil works that they do. Scripture tells you in Isaiah 10, Micah, the 2nd chapter, tells you that woe unto them that decree unrighteous. Isaiah 10 says, woe unto them that decree out. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Right? Micah tells you that they write certain laws because it's in the power of their hands. So they make things favorable to them but harsher on everybody else. But that's not the point. It says, verse 6, they search out iniquities, which is iniquities, sin, multiply. This is why we live in a society where it is just built on pleasure. All right, they built everything to excite the mind. Now, there's another film that just crossed my mind of Firestarter. Yeah, Firestarter. Is it Firestarter? Something like that. With the old one, the new version is okay. It's not, but the older version with Drew Barrymore as a little child. Basically, it was the group of individuals, which I'm about to read a little list of them. I don't mind the bird. He just got demons on him. But these group of individuals, the movie highlighted in the time of the 70s, when 60s, 70s, when everybody was on taking experimental drugs. All right, and experimental drugs gave certain people abilities. So they was telling the world back then, they was experimenting on the average person. Now, when you go into the history of what I'm about to state, the era of the psychedelics, all these different drugs, these hard drugs back then, it was an experiment by a certain group of individuals, all right, that are part of the conglomerate of this major thing. However, they are just a footnote to the bigger cause. So they actionary group. Hold on, Slakia. All right. So let me read this again. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and their heart is deep. So now let's go into this. So the brother had put in the chat. All right. This was yesterday. Here are some of the notable examples of clashes and differing strategies between the CIA and the State Department. Cold War era, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Iran coup, 1953. The Missile Crisis was 1962. The Vietnam War. And who was responsible for all these things? This thing called the Central Intelligence Agency, which is an equivalent of the Mossad of the Israelis, the KGB of the Russians, the M5 of Great Britain. Now, all these little subgroups are part of the bigger picture, part of the bigger the diabolical plan of these particular people. And that film, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and many others that mention of the New World Order is not by accident, because the CIA are responsible for movies and the messaging of the movies. Matter of fact, it's not a rumor, but the CIA bought the land of for Disney, Walt Disney, because they experimented on people through Disney. They experimented people in Hollywood. They own that. It's matter of fact, I think it's in this list too. Could be on this list, but you can clearly see there's a lot of damaging things. It says counterterrorism, drone strikes. They're responsible for that. It says conduct strikes in Pakistan, Yemen, while State Department raised concerns about civilian casualties, which, whatever. Guantanamo Bay detainees, Asia Pacific. These are nation changers. Matter of fact, a lot of coups the CIA are responsible for. All right, the overthrow of South America. Okay, kudos to them. But this list, I was like, damn, this is a lot. All right, this is a lot. This Middle East conflict, Iran nuclear deal. CIA supported negotiations while the State Department officials expressed concerns about Iran intentions. Syria civil war. CIA blocked rebel groups while the State Department emphasized diplomatic solution. This is why Trump saying that he want to get rid of the CIA, not because of the things that they're doing, because they're doing what the hell they want to do. But this is all part of the chaotic order that they're trying to establish. Let me go into this real quick. It says how the CIA destabilized the world. If only the CIA rogue operation have been co-signed to history as a result of crimes exposed by the church community, which is bullshit because they control the church as well, or at the least had brought the CIA under the rule of law. What law? And public accountability, but that was not to be. So this, let me see, who, Jeff D. Salk? I mean, everything he just says is an oxymoron. It's like a police officer speeding or running a red light. You see with your own eyes, everybody sees it. It's most of the times they just do it just to do it. Who's gonna keep them in check? Nobody. All right. I said there are three basic problems with the CIA: its operations, methods, and accountability. Its operational objectives, or whatever the CIA orders or the President of the United States defines to be in the U.S. interests at given time, irresponsible of the international law or U.S. law. His methods are secretive and duplicates. I'm sorry. Let me look this up real quick. Look it up.
Duplicitous.
All right, duplicitous. Treacherous. It says deceitful, treacherous, duplicitous behavior. Which leads me to a couple of scriptures, actually. Let me get this one. Matter of fact, let me go to this one. Revelations 20 and 7 to the point. Actually, 8. 8. And he shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. I mentioned these alphabet groups. All these alphabet groups are responsible for lies around the world. It says Revelations 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. And he was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So this man, which I'm going to get into real quick, Revelation 6 and 4, and then went out another horse that was red. Now this goes back to Jacob and Esau. All right. But a couple of things actually I want to go into real quick. Let's go back to Jacob and Esau. And Esau was given the blessing. Genesis the 27th chapter. First, explain that it's a red horse. Red is synonymous, in this case, with Esau. The horse represents power. Isaac blessed Esau. Matter of fact, let's go into that real quick. Because there was something I want to bring out. I'm going to make this too long. I had this marked up. Genesis 27 and 38. And Esau said unto his father, as that but one blessing my father bless me, even me also, But my father, and Esau lift up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, which is the best parts of the earth, and the dew of heaven. This is why he has pretty much chopped up even the heavens, the skies, air control, stationary space stations, and so forth. No other nation had that ability. And it says, from above, and here's the point, and by thy sword shall thou live. So he lived by the sword. He dies by the sword. It says, so that's Esau's blessing. And then went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon. So power was given, his blessing was given unto him. Right? Who sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So that laundry list that the brother sent, oh, might I add, see, it's all right. I had it queued up. I didn't want it. There was all credible references and so forth. But the laundry list of destabilization around the world, the changes of people of political power around the world, these are all part of Esau. These are all part of Esau. And Esau uses these little alphabet groups to do these things. Let me see if there's, I know I saw some of it. This is a long read. I'm not going to read all of it. All right, there's a little bit right here. It says, since 1975, CIA has run secretive operation backing Islamic jihads in Afghanistan to utter wreck the Afghanistani while giving rise to Al-Qaeda. This is evident. The CIA also likely run secretive operations in Balkans against the Syrians, in the Caucasus against Russia, and in Central Asia on targeting China, and all deploying CIA backing jihads. In 2010s, the CIA ran deadly operation to topple Syria's Bashar al-Assad, which right now he's out. He had to flee his land again with the Islamic jihads. For at least 20 years, the CIA has been deeply involved in fomenting the growing catastrophic in Ukraine, including the violent overthrow of the Ukraine president Viktor Yanukovych in February 2014 that triggered the devastating war now engulfing Ukraine. So whatever they do it, and it completely affects whatever nation for decades to come. This little group. And it's not just that group is, like I mentioned, Mossad, which their motto is deceive by any means. All right, but it's all the same group of people. Esau. He's taking peace from the earth. If you take peace from the earth, what is there left? And it says, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So them killing one another, going to war, a lot of these wars are started by the toppling. There was a book called Economic Hitmans, which is a term for them sending secret agents to destroy people's economies. nations' economies before they go to war. They do what they do. Then after they get what they want, they will send Rangers or SEALs, then the Marines, then the Army to invade, to set up shop, and so forth. So this man, Esau, has a track record of bringing nothing but chaos around the world. That's why it says this. I'm going to end it off on this. Habakkuk 2. Say it 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, which is Esau, but the just shall live by his faith, which is the Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Yet also because he transgressed by wine, which is his philosophy. All right. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. So he takes his madness and bring it to the other nations to overthrow them. All right. Who enlargeth his desires hell, because it's not about the nations, the actually places where they're supposed to rule best interest. It's not, for example, it's not the American interests that they have in mind. Their interest is for the elites. All right, it's not for the average citizen. According to the law, when a nation goes to war, everybody, whatever you take from the other nation, the spoils is supposed to go to the people. Not all of it, but, the people that actually went out there and fought. Everybody's supposed to get something. All these wars, nobody's getting nothing. Matter of fact, you have the Bidens, which publicly, everybody in the public knows that they're doing money laundering in Ukraine. Nobody's trying to stop nothing. All right. So that in itself shows you how wicked these people are. They only serve the best interests of the high elites, and they overthrow many nations. It says who enlarges his desires hell, and is as deaf, it cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. This is why they have the United States the way it is. Especially, of course, New York. New York is a great melting pot. All nations under the sun is in New York. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his, and elateth himself with their clay, which is a batyat, which means debt. All right. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee and awake, that shall vex thee, and that shall be booties unto them, meaning payback. All the shit that's going on, people are going to return that favor. Why? Because it's biblical prophecy. And that's why they're allowing these migrants to come over here to destabilize America, so they could bring in some sort of order. All right? Because that has spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. So they have spoiled many nations. They raped, robbed. The whole South America itself has been I guess a test drive, or it's been chaotic, say the least. They overthrew every possible government that did not have the best interests, not of the U.S., of the international bankers. This is exactly what they did. So now the nations are going to spoil them. It says because of man's blood, for the violence of the land, of the city, and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covetous and evil covetous to his house. How was America established? It was established by rape, rob, and murder. And to this day, they exercise the same method, but under the guise of freedom, bringing democracy, all this other shit. So that film, when it said the things that it said about bringing in a new world order and so forth, and there was a key point. Let me see. Go back to that real quick.
Created a world so chaotic that humanity is finally ready to sacrifice.
They created a world that's so chaotic that people don't want to fight. They don't want to do nothing. The fight's taken out of them. And you could clearly see it. That's why they have films. They study the minds of people. Nobody in their right mind is willing to overthrow their own government. That's why they plant these things in films so they could get the results that they want. So, something real quick through the spirit. No one of y'all brothers edify. Keep your eye. Some of them have names, some of them don't. We know who's responsible for all this shit. Esau, Edom, so-called white man, son with Amalekite, the Amalekites. All right, the small hatters, all that good stuff. They are responsible for all the chaos that's in the world. Okay, they use these alphabet operations to bring in their chaos, to compromise everybody's stuff. And Trump ain't gonna change shit because it's part of the whole problem itself. One of your laws is gonna bring the true order. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.